correct. Brought to you by us, fans like you, but mostly us.
In a dark corner of the world, three men will work together to bring you a podcast like no other. This is Fanatically Correct, where the fans, the geeks, and the nerds are always correct. With your host, MSK, G.o.T, and Omega.
I'm just gonna start with one bullet point, one huge bullet point of season 8, episode 2 of Game of Thrones, and that's Ghost. I guess they actually listened to our podcast or something.
Finally.
And I finally got to see Ghost after 2 seasons. I mean, he didn't do anything. He was just sitting there chilling, but at least I saw him.
That's funny.
Yeah, and my watch party, he got a round of applause. Everyone was like, yes, Ghost!
Oh, we haven't seen him in, 3 episodes since last season, but, I don't even remember what episode it was.
Yeah, we had someone in our party, but just to get out of the way, we are talking, we're reviewing Game of Thrones again.
Spoilers.
Again, season 8, episode 2. Full of spoilers. The night is dark and full of spoilers, so beware. You better have seen this episode if you're going to listen to us talk. I'm your host, Omega.
MSK.
Yo, peace.
And what do you guys got? What was the biggest highlight for you? I got some notes here, but let's just jump back and forth.
I want to start off, since we're always starting off with the spoiler warning. I like how HBO is being very secretive with the titles of the episodes, because they don't release it until after the episodes are out.
Yeah, they're being brand cryptic about it.
They're awesome. It's awesome. I really like it. This episode.
I see what you did there.
I know Omega, you were trying to ask. We were trying to figure out what the name of the episode was. It's Night of Seven Kingdoms.
Makes sense.
Okay. Yeah, it makes sense because it's the okay. We could jump into that. Because but night with a K or night with an N?
Oh.
It's with a K. It's with a K.
Okay, yeah, because it's actually it's going right into that because it's also conveniently episode 69.
Yeah.
But night with a K, we can get into that first. I think that was the highlight of the episode. I think that was the big emotional moment. Some of the ladies and the watch party I was part of got very misty-eyed. I was not one of those ladies this time, but I respected the emotion of Brienne of Tarth being knighted by none other than Jaime Lannister. Was a very moving moment.
Yep.
And it helped that Torment was the one that kind of sparked it. He was like F tradition. He's
right.
like, why not? She should be what she should be. You brought it up, so yeah, get into it. What was your take on that?
Brienne, I thought it was great. I think that was probably one of the best scenes in the episode, only because that's something that she's wanted the whole series, and everyone's kind of been taunting her because of how big she is or how ugly she is, and she finally got what she's always wanted, was to be a knight. And the fact that it was Jaime, even makes it even more meaningful.
I agree.
Yeah, I definitely want to say that. I think, in my point of view, I think it also is the highlight of the actual episode. Was that scene with everything that was happening around it?
I know, especially that moment, the whole drinking buddies, everyone's gathered around the fire, having a sip, sharing a story, sharing a song. Personally, you have something to share, your piece, but I just wanted to mention that I was glad they didn't also knight Podrick, because that was kind of a thought in my head, are they just gonna knight everybody now? It was gonna be one of those scenes, I am Spartacus and I am Spartacus, where everyone's now gonna be a knight going into this, and they didn't. They let Brienne
and you got my sword.
Yes.
And my ox.
Yep. Torment. Oh, he was breastfed by a giant.
That part was funny. That part was pretty funny.
That story was classic. But yeah, I think I think that was excellent. They didn't knight everybody, and because there was a bit of a worry that they might go that route. The big worry that they didn't is that Brienne's definitely gonna die in the next episode.
I don't think she will. I don't think.
I think she will.
What's your take, Yopis? What do you think is gonna happen?
No, I don't think she's. I honestly, we were having discussions about this. I also went to a party. some people might think that she will end up, I guess, being saved, or like she might some people think that she'll die saving, I guess, Jamie, which is kind of weird. I don't see that happening. Like I think she would take a bullet, but I don't think she'll die. I think she'll end up taking a bullet for someone, but I don't think she'll pass away.
I think it's gonna go the other way around. I think Jamie's gonna die to save Brienne, actually.
Yeah. Yep.
And that's gonna get him back to being like the honorable. That's gonna come full circle, especially in this episode when Bran, he was having that conversation with Bran, and he's like, "Why didn't you tell anyone?" And I think it will come full circle if he actually gives his life to save Brienne, and then later on, Brienne actually writes about Jamie in that book. I don't know if you guys remember the Kingsguard book where Jamie was kind of like upset that there's nothing about him in there.
Yeah.
Except for being like the king's son or whatever.
That's right. Yeah, and you know what? I think it's they should have called the episode "Farewell" or "Goodbye" because this is obviously the big goodbye build-up episode. So the next episode, I'm pretty sure it's 88 minutes or 80 minutes, or I believe it's 80 or 88, something around there. It's just gonna be nonstop battling because everyone who's gonna die is saying their goodbyes now. I think it's gonna be Brienne or Jamie, and one of those two. Just like I'm pretty sure Theon will die saving either Sansa or
done.
saving Bran. Yeah, because he had his moment with Bran, just like you said. Jamie, his moment with Brienne. Theon had his moment with Sansa and with Bran. So I think Theon's definitely on the chopping block. I got a bad feeling for Mormont. I knew that sword he was getting was going to be Sam's Valyrian steel sword, and we're going to see how that turns out, because he also had his moment. He was defending Tyrion and saying how he's still the right guy for the job, and and then in that room,
I also think Sam is on the block too. Like he's definitely on the chopping block for real.
I'm not sure. I don't know if Sam is. I really think Sam might be someone who gets to the end. I really do like that theory that
I think so too.
He's the one. Yeah, I like the theory where he's the one writing the book, A Song of Fire and Ice, and it's him writing about Jon or Jon's kid or whatever.
I just feel like they're all going into that crypt, man. They're all going into that crypt, and we talked about it.
That crypt, we know that crypt's the wrong place to be.
They keep mentioning it. Yeah. I don't know if you guys noticed, but they've mentioned that crypt way too many times this time around.
Oh, I said it. I said it during the episode. The little girl with that had the scar face, that her two brothers were fighters. They showed her fighter, and she's like, "No." She goes, "Fine, then I'll be prepared and fight in the crypt." I'm like, "Oh, you might be, and I think you're gonna die in that crypt."
I'm telling you, it's gonna happen. I'm gonna get my Ned Stark moment, and nobody saw this coming.
Yeah. So, side track, for a second, the other oh wow moment, I think it was weird for most of us, was what I joked about earlier with Night with a K or a Night with an N, which is Arya got her spear from Gendry.
Oh boy!
If you catch my drift, and I think that was a weird moment for most of us.
Yeah,
because
I didn't think it was weird.
It was, man. She's little Arya Stark, man.
She's okay. Look now, man. She's like 20 years old.
I understand that, but anybody watching that series that was about 12 or 13 when they started watching it, not the show you should be watching at 12 or 13, but there's a lot of them, so they're in their late teens now. Yeah, exactly. But they kind of grew up with her, so I was like with Alyssa Milano and Who's the Boss, and then she did Charmed, and it's all good, It's like but we're like adults, and she was like a little kid, and it's just like weird. Like you saw it coming or whatever, but I saw a lot more of her. It might have been the kind of CGI'd, I'm not sure, but I think I did. I still saw more.
I think it was probably a body double.
It could have been.
I
don't know. You saw her face the whole time, so they CGI'd her face.
That's the old school CGI. But whatever it is, it was not her.
Whatever the case, I was watching kind of cringing, but that scene was like you saw it coming though. The moment it started, the gloves are coming. Sure. The gloves are coming off. The way she's asking him about how many women and all that. It's like but we knew it the moment from episode 1 last week when she caught his eye. When he caught her eye riding in on the horse. She was like it's immediate, and you already knew they were hinting at it when she told the Hound I'm not gonna spend my last moments with you two, it's like
I like that scene a lot when she spent it with the Hound for a little bit.
Yes. Yeah, we wanted that. We didn't get that the first time.
Yeah.
That was more, which makes sense. Look, the first episode was a lot of reacquaintancing, reintroducing,
Right.
and catching up with one another a long time. And this one was the farewells. This one was
right after.
It was, yeah. It's making things right before they go really bad.
Yeah.
No, but I
mean,
like what the Hound said. He was just like, "Oh, I fought for you, didn't I?" I found that scene pretty good.
Yeah. The banter with the Hound is always, I mean, after you see some behind the scenes stuff with that actor, he's really like that. So
He's
it's just
really
so
the Hound,
natural. Yeah. He really is. He's so natural that way. And like when he said that, he's like, I couldn't get you to shut up before. And now you like see her all like, quiet and mute and cryptic. And it's like so true. It's like she's such a different person from, what he knew. Yet somehow she's still the same person almost for Gendry, you know what I mean? And then, that's why she surprised him when she started that was a great little scene too, when she's throwing the arrowheads and hitting the same spot over and over in the wood. He's like, I'll get right on it. You know what I mean? He's like, oh yeah, you are no joke. And speaking of tough little girls, man, hey, Lyanna, like they're blowing her up. I think she's gonna end up on the throne when this is all done.
Yeah, I mean, with that face,
I wouldn't be surprised
Did
if
you
she
see
ends up
that?
dying in the battlefield like a soldier.
Did you see that face?
and more
Her
Montana.
face is amazing.
I know.
She has like the
Yeah.
face of no one is gonna mess with me. That's the type of face she has right now.
Yeah, she's a badass. She's a straight up badass.
Yeah, it's gonna be. I think Grey Worm's for sure done. I just.
yeah.
For sure, Grey Worm. I actually think Miss Sunday is gonna die too.
You think both or one or the
Both
other?
of them are gonna end up dying eventually. Yeah.
This is such a gut wrenching episode because it's preparing you for the worst.
A couple of people are gonna die, and it might not be the ones we're guessing, but some people are gonna die.
Yeah.
I'll tell you though, the curve of the writing of kind of making me root for Dany to die though is getting a bit annoying because like
It's crazy.
it's seriously
crazy
like
'cause
they're
making Dany into the Mad King pretty much, and it
pretty much
that's awesome how they could write. Just we talked about it with Jamie, how in the beginning we hated him, and now we're kind of like understanding him, and we actually like him. It's kind of doing the reverse about Dany now.
Seriously. I mean, it's just like in that moment, and it's like again they built it up like with Sam. That was the setup. The end of the last episode, and it was pretty much the end of this episode as well. Is the reveal again of the same information. But Sam brought up in the last episode when he said it. He goes, you sacrificed everything for your people. Like John said, he goes, would she do the same? And here he is telling her in private, just the two of them. You can even tell he's reluctant about telling her. He's actually giving her good information that, hey, you know what, your brother was a good person.
Right.
He didn't rape my aunt, actually my mother. And immediately, her immediate reaction wasn't, are you okay? Don't be worried about us being aunt and nephew. What do you think that means? What does that mean to you? No, none of that was, well, do you know what that means? You're gonna, you have a claim to the throne. Like immediately defensive about her position.
Yeah.
And it just goes.
John
yeah.
didn't deliver that the best that he could have delivered it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
he didn't. But look, when the shoe was on the other foot, how he took that information.
Right.
He was very reluctant. He was very, but not defensive. You know what I mean? He was more confused and worried. You know what I mean? For the greater good, and worried for her, worried for his people, worried for for what that meant. And the only thing she was worried about is what it meant for her power and her position.
That's how it is. That's how it is,
and
man.
that's what they're building us up for, and it's like we're almost really like, yeah, we'll be okay if she dies. Like, we'll be all right with it.
It is crazy the way they've done this, and I've been watching it. I have not rewatched the seasons. I'm gonna be honest, I have not, but I can remember that there was always hints that she was there. That craziness was always there. Nobody saw that coming.
She's always had her moments. She's always had her moments.
Yeah, especially the last. I mean, I saw the seasons right before this. Especially the last two seasons, you definitely see a little bit hints of her having subtle like madness,
overly cocky, overly cocky, and borderline. I will not be questioned. I will not be, made up against, worked against, or just anything. She just has no flexibility. She
was not taking the news very well.
She's not.
I did like the scene with her and Sansa though. I thought that scene was really well done.
But they went into that scene, and thank you for bringing that up, because the watch party we're grouped with, they're like, oh, she's, the olive branch, this is gonna be good. I'm like, don't forget that Sansa is also a bit of a butthole. So, and sure enough, how did it end? Sansa being the butthole. really pushing. What about the North? Like, come on, like,
we don't bow down to anybody.
Yeah. Oh no, she does, but again, it's like they're about to fight the army of the undead. The Night King.
That's not a thing.
Hell and fury is coming their way. Can we be nice to each other?
At that moment, that was not a thing for either of them to talk about. They should that conversation should have been brought up, but it was brought up at that moment. She should have been like, "Yeah, whatever. I'll figure it out later on. Let's just concentrate on what's going to happen now." But no, she had to be like, "But what about the North? The North?
Yeah.
You see my accent? The North."
It's just.
I don't like that Daenerys is kind of losing faith in Tyrion. I mean, I know he's messed up a couple of times, like big mess ups already, but she's already ready to fire him as the hand.
Mad King.
Yeah, and some of his mess ups are more of her mess ups of not following through with things to an extent. It's like obviously he would have been right on Sam's family in that house,
right.
And that would have been people that would be fighting for them right now, without a doubt. Once they would have also seen the army of the undead, they would have been there alongside with Jaime, not with Cersei, and that would be more people in their fight against the Battle of the Undead. So and it was the same thing with Casterly Rock. Like, yes, he got a little bit fooled there. They were able to take care of that. It's like, Tyrion makes mistakes. The Cersei one's a big one, but that got saved by his brother. And it's at the end, it's like everything that Mormont said was completely correct. It's like, yes, he makes his mistakes. I made mistakes. They've all mistakes, but a lot of them it's just mistakes in her eyes.
Yeah,
right. Some of them. Yeah, no, exactly.
And
some of them are just
Sansa actually made it right for her. Like, he trusted her, but you also did the trusting here.
Exactly.
So who's at fault? Is it him for trusting his sister, or is it you for just trusting whatever he says?
Yes. How about not listening to him and being wrong when you don't listen to him, and then also being wrong when you do listen to him?
Much.
It's like it's on her as well, and it's like he's still the best man for the job. He is the greatest mind.
I was worried when he said that. He was like, oh yeah, I think we could survive this. He was kind of being nonchalant about it. I'm like,
the kiss of death.
Oh, he's gonna die. Oh god.
I'm worried everyone in that room is gonna die. Like I'm just worried,
like
I think like when it was couples, or like, okay, only one of these people is gonna die, and then when it's one big room, like everyone in this room is gonna die.
that little Hobbit moment that they had in singing the song, it was like,
I just don't know. Yeah. I just don't know now. I don't think Bran can die. I think he's too. Now they've made him too important of a piece. I mean, Bran is like he's the plan. Bran is the plan. They're putting him as the bait, and they're gonna try to fight just the Night King directly.
And look who's gonna be with him. That guy's gonna die.
Well, it's everyone. Sansa's gonna be with him. Arya's gonna be with him. Theon.
Theon's gonna die.
Obviously, sure. Obviously, it looked like Jon and Daenerys were about to jump on dragons, because they looked at each other like, yeah, let's do this, and they went like, why are the two of them? She ain't fighting on the battlefield unless she's on a dragon.
Nope.
So it looks like, and that's why it was important to have that dragon scene last week, even though it was more of a romantic thing. It was just a yada yada, the training. But it was.
Second viewing, it's not as bad. It's not as bad.
I guess I'll figure it out. I'll rewatch it, see if
I'll rewatch and time it exactly. I'm gonna time how long I can show you the world an Aladdin scene is, and calculated see. I already know that's longer. That's like a whole song. It wasn't that long. It definitely wasn't.
No, it's not as long as everyone.
Yeah, it might have been Avatar riding on those pterodactyl things long though. I think it was about lined up with that.
I'll tell you what, the best part of this episode, I think, was a break from Cersei. I just needed a break from Cersei.
Yes, and I'm pretty sure the next episode will be the same. I think it's gonna be all Battle of Winterfell, and then we'll see where they go from there. I mean, there's so many possibilities. I don't know with these writers. They could have this battle happen and then do a jump of like a year from now in the following episode. Depending on how the battle goes, they could kill everybody. I mean,
I don't think
I'm really. Yeah, I'm just sitting unsure. I wouldn't put money on anything. I mean, there's bad gut feelings we got, obviously, from the setups, a lot of the setups they had in this episode. There's no way it's Game of Thrones. There's no way this is a happy ending, and everybody's making it out. It's just not happening.
And I'm going to tell you right now, from a production standpoint, this episode's gonna be crazy because it's gonna be directed by Miguel Sapochnik, which did Hard Home and Battle of the Bastards.
Oh boy.
Oh, that's it. That's it. It's gonna be nasty. It's gonna be
insane.
This
episode's gonna be insane.
So give me your for sure. Who's up for sure? One person. Just give me one person. Go. Anybody.
I'm gonna say Grey Worm.
Grey Worm. Okay.
That's a good one.
Omega.
My for sure. I'm gonna go with Eye Patch. I'm gonna go with what's his name, the 19 times or whatever. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's done.
Yeah.
I that group. I think the Night's Watch friend also is probably gonna is probably a for sure.
Then
and then
Ed from the Night's Watch.
Is that him? Yeah, Ed. Yeah. The last friend, because they had that whole moment. They were talking about Pip and all the other guys, and then there's just 3 of us last. So I think he's pretty much an easy bet as well. But we know those tombs are gonna get bad.
Yeah.
And so what do you say, Yo P?
I'm gonna say they're gonna do it. I'm saying they're doing Theon this time. Next episode.
That's a safe bet. Yeah, sadly, I think that's
Theon,
a safe
out
bet.
of all the characters, they kind of rushed his storyline, which out of everyone's storyline, I think that would have to have been the one they had to rush. So
yeah,
I think
I
next
think
episode
is
he
next.
needs that scene where he redeems himself.
Yep, I think so too.
Yeah, and then we'll see what happens in the tombs. I all 3 of us had that same bad feeling that those tombs are coming alive, and
it's gonna be crazy.
There's gonna be some people in the chopping block in there. I personally think Varys is probably high on that list of possibilities, and I guess we'll just have to wait and see. I will say, in closing, that the memes this week will probably be even crazier than all the memes that were out.
Definitely
last
a
week.
lot of Brienne memes all over.
I think there's
all Arya ones.
memes.
Yeah, Arya memes for sure. Arya Gendry memes, Brienne memes, Torment memes. Is the big woman still here? Like that's.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, a Tormund memes. That's probably gonna take over the internet.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah,
So I guess
seriously, I think this episode was better than the first. I think each episode's gonna get better, which is insane. So
Yeah. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I think I enjoyed it, but I think me personally, I would have done it. Put a little bit more time into the last episode and just put that into it. But that was just me. I think they could have done it a little longer on the last episode, and all that could have been injected into it. But we'll see. Because I want more battle. That's all I want. I feel like it was just too much closing and too much. I don't know.
I agree.
a lot of setup.
I agree.
Yeah,
I just think
the
there's
first two episodes are mainly setup. We're gonna get a big battle episode, and then we're gonna go back to Cersei. So we'll probably get another setup episode, and then the last 2 would probably be battle stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. It could be the next 4 episodes are just obviously the next one for sure is going to be nothing but battle, and I think after that it's probably going to be set up with battle, and then nothing but battle.
Well,
I just think it's.
I mean, we thought about the same thing about this episode. I thought we were going to start
That
with
is
battles,
true.
and we got no battles.
That is true.
I think the setup is very important.
Yeah, I agree. After seeing it, I really felt it because when you rewatch the episodes, and when I rewatched last week's, I really felt that okay, it's gonna kind of be like pulling a Band-Aid now to watch a bunch of these people die when they just got reintroduced. I better not see Ghost die next week. Seriously, I'd be so upset if he came back for 5 seconds this episode to die in the next episode.
I will
that
flip
better not
a
happen.
table if that
So,
happens, and I'm
I'm
gonna apologize
mad.
to the person's
Mad.
whatever house I'm in. I apologize ahead, but
when
I
you
will
get there,
flip
just
your
tell him, "Hey,
table,
man,
sir."
That coffee table, I might want to put that away.
Yeah, I will flip it. I'm flipping tables if that happens on
Put
the
an
next
ottoman.
episode.
Put an ottoman. I'll flip an ottoman. It won't
glass
break
table.
nothing.
It might be a baby's table or something, but I'm flipping
But
some table.
that's my point. I'm bringing up
on
Ghost.
the table.
Seriously, but that's why I'm bringing up that up though. I'm bringing up Ghost because of that. I think it would have been the same feeling to oh, he just got back and now he's gonna die. You know what I mean?
No,
Which is
they
what's
can't
probably
do
gonna
that.
happen with
They can't.
Theon.
No.
Yeah. So but I think this
I don't
episode
think that's
was a good
far-fetched,
follow.
man. I think that could happen. Remember, they have to pick budget. Dragons or ghosts. I think they.
No, not
stop
ghosts.
it.
You just show me
man.
in the
Stop it.
background. I need ghosts.
Stop it. Enough of that. So, yeah, I guess, wow, let's see what happens next week is going to be with tissue and tears and sore throats or screaming and yelling. You might hear a laptop hit the floor. I don't know. We'll see what's going to happen with our reactions.
You guys,
I think next week is going to be the episode where we're just going to break down. I think that's the one that's... It's going to be too shocking for us.
oh man,
It's going to be bad.
Well,
I wouldn't be surprised if
you
just
guys
one
know
of
where to
us-
find us. If you don't, listen to our previous podcast. And I think this is gonna be it for guys. Like, we can't talk anymore because I'm done.
That's it. We spoiled. We hit the high notes. We're gonna go now and watch it again, most likely, all of us, and then just follow us on social media, and you'll see our afterthoughts from there on until the next review. And that's
hopefully
it.
this one comes out tomorrow, so everyone can listen to it. Hopefully.
Oh yeah. And then Thursday's Endgame. So let's get ready for a Stark actually dying this week. So that's Omega saying peace.
MSK, peace out.
Yo, peace, Peters.
And there you have it, folks. This has been Fanatically Correct. Until next time, you crazy kids. Signing off.